Today, we will see how to use this Scientech 406 2D model 10 megahertz arbitrary waveform generator. First, switch on this main switch. It will take some time to initialize all the operations, and then you go for the settings. Once the display is on, we will get what is the current frequency of the signal. Presently, it displays 50 kilohertz. Which waveform is selected? That is sine waveform. Next, what is the amplitude of the signal? That is 4 volt peak to peak. And this is the offset. Generally, for a regular experiment, we are not using any offset condition. Offset means what is the level above 0 axis. So if we want to make it 0, then we can press this offset and make that is 0. Now see the change, that the waveform is starting from 0 instead of any offset value. So we should be careful when we are selecting the signal. Try to set the offset value to 0. So these are the conditions of the output signal which is generated by this signal generator. Now, this switch, the push button switch, indicates which function is selected. Currently, we have selected sine waveform, and that's why the display shows sine waveform. If I press the second one, that is, it will display the square waveform. If we want triangular, select triangular waveform. Then pulse. So these 4 switches are used to select the necessary waveform to the experiment. So we will go for sine waveform setting. Now, I want to change the frequency of the signal. Whenever I want to change the frequency of the signal, 2 options are available on the front panel of this waveform generator. One, there are switches starting from 0 to 9, and one more rotary switch is provided here. If we change the rotary switch, you can observe the value of the frequency is changing. Carefully see now. I make it 60, 70, 80 and 90 and so on. So if I move clockwise, it will increase, and if I move anti-clockwise, it will decrease. Like that, I can change the frequency of the signal. Carefully note down, when the blinker is on, that indicates which parameter you are changing using the front panel. Second case, directly if I want to go for 100 kilohertz, I can press 100 directly. See here. Now the display shows 100 and I want kilohertz, so I will press this F2 switch and the waveform is having the frequency of 100 kilohertz. So either I can go for with variable switch or I can go for push button switch to change the frequency of the signal. Now I want to set what is the amplitude, that is the voltage of the signal. So for that I have to press the second switch, that is F2, and the blinker will change the position from frequency to amplitude. Now I can change the value of the voltage either using this rotary switch or I can set with the help of this push button switch. I can show you. If I increase it, carefully see, now it is changing 4, 5, 6, 7 and so on. Or if I want to change with the help of push button switch, now see here, I will set here 5 and here I will get number of options that which 5 value I want. Is it millivolt? Is it volt peak to peak, RMS or millivolt RMS? So which value I want, as per that I will press the switch. Suppose V peak to peak, I will press this V peak to peak. Now it is written 5 volt peak to peak. Like that, using F2 switch, I can set the amplitude of the signal. As I said earlier, when I am setting the amplitude, the offset line should be 0. Offset indicates that your waveform will start above 0 value, and that will start from which value? That value we can set with the help of this offset. Now if you see, the waveform is starting from 0. I can show you one example. If I set offset is equal to 1 volt, my waveform will start above this 0 level. Now carefully see. I will press this F3 and I will write here 1 volt, right? And I will press this 1 volt. Now see here. Instead of starting the waveform from 0, it is starting above 0 value, and the value of this starting point will be now 1 volt. What happens here? With respect to 0, my waveform will not be divided into equal part, that is positive half cycle and negative half cycle, because with respect to 0, my waveform is starting above 1 volt. So whenever we are connecting sine waveform to the circuitry, all the time make offset is equal to 0 volt. Now see, that horizontal line disappears from the screen. So whatever magnitude of the signal we are expecting, that I can set with the help of F1, F2 and F3. If I press F1 once again, now carefully see, first it displays frequency. If I press again, it will show the period. Means now instead of showing the frequency, the signal generator shows the time period. So if I press F1 twice, I can change the function from frequency to period. Once again if I press, it will change to the frequency. Similarly, if I press F2, it shows the amplitude. Once again if I press, it shows the high level. What is the highest level? And that is 2.5 volt. It is 2.5 volt above 0, 2.5 volt below 0, and that values are shown here, 2.5 and minus 2.5. Right? So once again if I press amplitude, it will show the peak to peak value. Similarly, if I go for offset level, I will set it for 1 volt. Means my waveform is starting above 0 value, starting from 1 volt. If I press again, what is the low level? Total waveform is 5. What it indicates? Towards positive side, it is 3.5. And towards negative side, it is minus 1.5. So what is the low level and what is the high level? That we can specify whenever we are setting the offset value. So that adjustment I can make here with the help of F1, F2 and F3. So this will give you the idea how to set the magnitude of signal on the waveform generator. Second very important thing is that whenever we are connecting this output to the CRO, carefully see here, 2 BNC sockets are provided here. One shows the trigger and second shows the output. Always use this output terminal to connect the output of this waveform generator to the circuit or to the CRO. So to get the output, you press this output switch. Then and then only this signal generator starts giving output to the circuitry or to the CRO. So make sure that all the time this switch should be in glowing condition to get the output value. So these are the required settings on the waveform generator on this Scientech 406 2D model. Thank you.